My name is Salas, Rosa Maria Salas Bell. I'm 73 years old. I have one daughter, one amazing daughter, because for me, she's amazing. I have 4 grandchildren. Eileen, she's 25. I have Angel, he's 23. I have Angelica, she's 19. And then I have my little one, Anthony, which is 15. And then I have my love, my precious little love. Her name is Sophia. She's my great-granddaughter. And she's going to be 6 years old. That is my family, my husband, Michael Bell. And that is my immediate family. And I'm 73 years old. I just turned 73 this year. I was born in San Diego, California. I'm an American citizen from the United States, so I'm an American. And we came to Azusa from San Diego when I was 3 years old. We came with my brother Joe. My brother Joe is only a year older than me, a year younger than me, I'm sorry. And so we came to Azusa when I was 3 years old, so I can't remember the year. I must have been 1954.
When were you? What's the year of your birth? And
My birthday is November 1st, 1951. That's my birthday.
Do we know you by other names?
Rosa. Everyone called me Rosa. When I was growing up, they called me Rosie. At school, they called me Rosie. Some people, especially when I was a teenager, I was dating, they would call me Rosita. Here in Azusa, we came to Azusa, 1954. And since then, I've been here in Azusa, except for some years that I got married and moved to Altadena. And that's where my daughter grew up, and that's where my grandkids grew up, except my little Sophia. She grew up here, in this part of California. So all my life I've been here in California. All my life, my grandchildren, my daughter, everyone has been here with me in California. Nowhere else but California. I've seen places, I've gone to places where are beautiful, but nothing like California. Expensive, but nothing like California. And that's where I'm probably going to stay when I leave this world. I don't know how to say it now, but that gave me the words, the Holy Spirit, so I can, know what to say, and I guess that's why I can. Well, I don't know the part of me, which is the part that I'm going to speak about my death. Okay. Okay.
First of all, we want about you.
Okay.
Your life,
Because
your
I
story,
think this is the only opportunity
your story.
I'm going to have to speak to my grandchildren, my daughter, Michael, where they understand the process that I'm going through.
That'll be in the second or third chapter.
Okay.
Right now,
Okay.
Ray's trying to find out who you are, how you got here,
Uh,
your family history. Just in case your great
Wow,
grandchildren, it's going to be here for them. Remember that.
and Sophia wants so bad to. She says, I don't want to forget my Grammy. And I tell her, you're not going to forgive me, my love. You're not going to forget. No. No.
And this is for her too.
Yes. And right away she got the thing. And I said, but you remember, this stays here until Grandma goes to heaven, and then you can take it. And so she says, okay, Grammy. Okay. Okay, mijo. I'm just wasting words, so. Too long. When she got married and I was still a teenager, you know, but we still have a lot. A lot, because if it wasn't for her, that she would bring me all my memories and all my, you know, I couldn't do it. So every day when she calls me, that's what we talk about. We talk about our families, about my mom, my dad,
Talk
us
about
growing
talk
up.
about your mom and dad right now.
Okay.
Share about that.
Okay. Okay. Well, my mom and dad, my mom's name was Isidra Salas, Cruz Salas. My dad was Domingo Valtierra Salas. My dad was born in Aguascalientes, Mexico. Right, Tony? He was born in Aguascalientes, Mexico. He was raised there. Him and my mom got married there. Except my mom really didn't have an idea that she was from Mexico. She thought she was born over there, but she was born in Arizona. She was an American citizen, but she didn't know till she grew older. Then she knew that she was from Arizona. Then my brother, my sister Ophelia and my sister Tony were born in Aguascalientes. They were born there. And so I think by then my mom was expecting me. So they decided to come to the United States because of my uncle and my grandma had already come from over there to here. And they wanted the whole family because everyone had come. So they wanted the whole family to be here. And I was, so when they came over here, that's when I was born. I was born there in San Isidro, right? San Isidro, I think it was San Isidro. Oh, San Diego. Oh, yeah, I was born in a nice, very nice hospital. After my sister and my sisters were born in a little hutch. They were born in a little hutch. And I was born in this fancy hospital. So then my mom, this to me was funny because my dad couldn't cross over because he didn't have documents. So he couldn't cross over illegally, so he had to cross over illegally. So they set it up for them to pass with a coyote. And I was pregnant, my mom was pregnant, and so my mom couldn't do very much, but she hired a coyote, And this is the funny part that I think it's funny, that being a United States citizen, she passed over here
Illegal.
like an eagle, illegal, through the water, through the Grand Canyon. Was it the Grand Canyon? The Rio Grande. It's Rio Grande.
It was just a Rio.
It was just a rio that someone helped them to come over here.
That divided
Mhm.
Tijuana from
Yeah. So my mom didn't want to leave my dad alone with
the kids.
the girls. So she passed an illegal. And thank God, thank goodness that she made it. So then we came to, that's where we lived in San Isidro, right? In San Isidro. Chula Vista. Well, there's a lot of little towns there that have they have farm, and so that's where they come to work,
The fields.
the fields. So then we ended up there, and then I was born there. And my mom and dad started making a life there. Started picking whatever there was available to pick. They worked the farm, and so as far as I know, they tell me that they had a good life until the migra would have, the migra. So they were always hiding about the migra, So finally, my brother was born, Joe. He was born a year later than me, so he was only 1 year older.
You were 1 year.
I was a year older. See, my mind. I'm 73, so my mind goes a little bit. Okay? You gotta excuse me for that. And so my mom, my uncle Rudy, God bless his heart. He's the one who helped my mom, my dad a lot. My Uncle Rudy. All the family. My tia Petra, everybody. Just helped them a lot. So my mom decided to bring him illegally. And thank God that she did it. She brought my sister, my dad, and my other sister. She brought them legally, so they were legally here, finally. And then, like I said, in 1994, that's when we came to Azusa.
No, Rihanna.
No?
1994.
94. I'm so sorry. See, you need to excuse me because my mind is not. 1954. 1954, they came to Azusa. And right there in Azusa, we grew up. All of us grew up. Then my brother Mingo, my brother Rudy, they grew up here in LA. They were born here in LA. Oh. And then, so after that, this was our home. We went to school here. We learned how to talk English because we didn't know how to speak English. Because my mom didn't speak English or my dad. But once we started going to school, my sisters went to school first, so they started learning how to speak English. So then from school, they started teaching us. And that's when we learned how to speak English. How to speak English. So then our first language was English, but not my mom's first language. But she didn't want us to speak English. She wanted us to speak Spanish because that was our language. So that's what we did. We spoke Spanish. We had beautiful childhood. I'm not saying that it was perfect because, like they say, you go through the good, the bad, and the ugly. And we went through hard things too because, it was hard working in the fields. My mom worked in the fields along with my dad, picking things. That's my grandchildren. And
Tell,
and that's when we started.
tell him when
Our-
you grew
our-
up
our-
in Alameda Avenue, when you were little.
Yeah.
Tell him
Yes,
about-
we lived in a little shack. We lived like in a little shack there on Alameda in an alley. Remember that little place where we all lived together with my Uncle Frank, with my grandma, Petra. We all lived there together. Finally, my dad got a little better job of the fields, so he rented a little house on Alameda Street. And I still remember the address. That was 125 North Alameda. That's where we started our childhood. Because then I was older, my brothers were older, my sisters were older, and that's where we started our childhood. And going to school. And boy, from then on, I have a lot of stories. A lot of stories about growing up because we were six
Tell
of us.
What's the story that comes out the most that you can say, I want to share that one because that was a happy moment?
Us growing up with my mom, because my mom was very young. She was very young when she lived there. She must have been, 27, 28, something like that. And she used to play with us like a kid. I remember things like we couldn't afford. Back then there was a game, the slider, where you put the hose and you slide down with the water. And we wanted one of those. For the summer we wanted one of those, but my mom said, well, we can't afford it because, they're expensive. So then what my mom did was found a plastic bag, a real long plastic runner. And then she taped the hose on it. She taped the hose and then she put it high so it could go. Well, there was our slider. Without her just buying a little plastic, and there was a high and we would just have fun, and my mom along with us, just sliding that slide. We would get all wet. It was just so beautiful that I'm getting chills from just thinking of my mom doing those things for her children. Then the next time we wanted, there was this was back in the 50s. A game came out where you put it was like a hose that would go around and around with water, and you would stand there and play and get wet and all that. And we told my mom too that we wanted to, if she could get us one. And again she said, because I can't because they're expensive, but just wait a minute. she did was get the hose and put the hose on the clothesline. I don't know how she did it. Then put a clip, put 2 clips on the hose, on the hose thing, and the water just all over. And we just had the fun. We just would run around that, and not only us, our neighbors, the kids that we grew up with would go and be under that and just get wet and just have fun. She would play with volleyball with us. She would play, her and her comadre that lived next door, we were best friends from next door. So we would play ball with the water. So we would get all wet, all wet. And that's the most beautiful, beautiful, beautiful things that I have of my mom. The most beautiful that she did everything to please us, to please her children, even though she didn't have the money to do it, even though she didn't have, but she would do it. She would do it, but the most that I have in my heart, I don't know about my sisters or my other brothers, is that when we used to go Halloween trick-or-treating, my mom wasn't into this evil thing. My mom was not into all that stuff. We would dress as clowns and other things we would dress as. She wasn't into all that, but she would get our pillows, wash them, and then when we came home, my mom had a big barrel like this with old clothes, and we used to go there and just get clothes out. Get clothes, and we used to make a costume out of that. And she used to get our pillowcases for candy, and there she was along with us, dressed up as clowns, at whatever she could. She would dress up with a big old thing of candy. She used to take us trick-or-treating. Every year she took us trick-or-treating. And then after, she would give out the candy. The candy, because there was seven big old bags of candy. So she would divide them. And that was what we didn't like. We didn't like to divide our candy. But she would take some to Mexicali, to my cousins over there, and so she did a lot of things that I have here in my heart. My dad, that one's sad for me, to talk about my dad. That's sad for me. Because if it wasn't for my mom, we wouldn't have a childhood like that. But we still loved him. He did things that, like Thanksgiving, he brought us the first Thanksgiving with a big old turkey. Big old turkey. But otherwise, I'm sorry, Dad. I don't have too many memories. Oh, Jesus. I'm going to talk about my life, my marriage to my husband. I've been married since 1986, which is about 39 years. It's going to be in February. Like every marriage, you go through the good, the bad, and the ugly. But most of all is goodness. Sometimes you don't know what's going to happen. We had a lot of, because of inner culture, because he was African American, I was Mexican, so it was just a little bit, because he was raised by a Catholic. He was raised by a Catholic, and my mom, she raised me as a Catholic, so we had most of the culture of Catholic. So that was good, because he wasn't raised like a regular black African American, because he wasn't raised like that. He was raised more with church, and going to church and reading the Bible and singing, and that's how he was raised. But still, he was a young man, but about 6-7 months before that, we went to go visit his mom, and we used to call her Mother Teresa, because she was just a beautiful person, very beautiful person. She loved me more like if I was her daughter than her daughter-in-law. She was a good person, a very good person.
What was her name?
Her name was Teresa Candeslado. That was her name. But we all called her Mother Teresa, because she looked like a nun. I mean, she looked like somebody, but the first time she met me, she was coming from a hallway, and they had like a little chapel there at the church, at the house. They had a little chapel where they would go and pray. People would come and sing and have worship and have, just different things there.
This was in Altadena?
In Altadena. Yeah. In Altadena. So then I came in, I saw her coming to me, and with a big old smile. With a big old smile, with her arms open to me. And I went right into her arms, and she hugged me. She hugged me, and since then, like I used to tell, I fell in love with her because of the type of person she was. She was so good, and so right away she took in Patty. I mean, Patty would do everything for Patty. And then about 2 months later, my shoes started disappearing. After the service, or after the praying service, my shoes started disappearing. And I would say, why are my shoes disappearing from the floor? And the girls would say, we don't know. Well, excuse me. We were all in the service. We were all singing, and we were all there. So I don't know. I said, well, that's so strange that my shoes would disappear. So then one day, I told her, Mother Teresa, my shoes keep disappearing. And then we go and look for them, and then I can't find them. And then all of a sudden, they're there. And then she throws a little smile. I said, do you know what happens with my shoes? She says, yes. Ishmael. Because that's what they call him. That's his real name, Ishmael. That's his real name. It says Ishmael. I said, well, who's Ishmael? Because I knew Michael. He says, this is Ishmael, Rosie. this is Ishmael. I said, oh, so you've been hiding my shoes? He says, yeah. He says, well, I'll give you my shoes back. I'll give you your shoes back if you promise to go out on a date with me. I said, you know how old I am? I have a little girl. I'm not that young to be, I didn't come here to be dating. I said, I came here to seek the Lord. I came here to learn more. I came here to sing, to go, to do, you know. That's why I'm here. I'm not here for that. And he says, well, that's my condition. I said, okay. Well, yeah, he gave me my shoes back. He took me, about a month later, he took me to Roadhouse, the one over here on Azusa Avenue. I don't remember the name of it.
Outback.
No. This was on Rosemead back then. But it's still there. I don't remember. Now they built it right here across the street from the 99-cent store that was. Well, he took me there, took me to dinner, and yeah. Then we started dating, we started going out, and then Hattie, she must have been 5 years old, I think. And she just got along with him really good, got along with him. And his mom just took to Patty that like it was his own, like her own grandchild. And Michael, like if it was his own dad, she took him in like he was, to him that was her dad, and until this day, she doesn't say that's her stepdad. She says that's my dad. So to her, that's her dad, not a stepdad. And then we got married. We had a beautiful wedding. I mean, it was pretty. But then, you know, the hard things coming, then the better, then hard, then better, you know, things like that all marriages go through. And so then Patty got older, and she my blind went blackmail.
Somebody wants to say hello to you.
Hi, my love. How are you, my love?
Good.
You good, baby? Yeah. Did you see Grandma Tony? And this is Uncle Memo.
Hello.
This is Uncle Memo. Tell her she's my Grammy.
He's my Grammy.
I love you. Patty got a little older, and she stayed with my mom on the weekends because she was so used to staying with my mom. So she stayed with my mom on the weekends, and she got older. And then one day we got the news that I was going to be a grandma. And I said, what do you mean I'm going to be a grandma? He says, yeah, Eileen is having a baby. I said, okay. I didn't get mad. I didn't get angry. It felt happiness in my heart to have a granddaughter. So when she was born, or Patty was pregnant with her, she was just even if I hadn't seen her then, she still was the happiness. And when she was born, though, it was the happiest day of my life for being born. Everyone says that she's my number one because she's my first, and that she gave me my first grandbaby. But maybe a little bit, you're my best. A little bit. And then Angel was born. Well, she was born in 1999. She was born in 1999. Angel was born in 1902, I think. But he was a boy, so right away they told me he was a boy, and I saw him born. I saw him born. I cut off his little cord, whatever they say it. And I have to say the truth because they're right here. I'm not going to lie to them. There's something about Angel and Grandma that not something special, but like I don't know how to explain it. Like something very with him and me that I can't explain. I can't explain what I feel about him. Not that he's my favorite, no. But there's something that binds us, that connects us, and I love him. I love him so much that he's the one who's having problems with this. But then Angelica was born, my little dimples. He's the only one who has dimples. Then Angelica was born with her little dimples, like cute little dimples. And that's another blessing that God has given me. And then Anthony was born in 2000 and what? 4? 2009? Okay, 2009. He'll be 15 or 16, I'm not quite sure. This coming year. And then the most precious light of the world was born. My little one over here. Oh, you were. She was the first, and then you came, and you shined my life like that. That's what grandkids, that's what great-grandkids do to your heart. Until you have a grandchild, you're never going to know what that is. But no more than your child. No more than your child. I can't love them no more than my child. And I tell them, she's my child. I'm going to defend her till the day I die. I'm going to be there for her till the day I die. Because she's my baby, And they have to understand that she's my baby. And God gave her for a reason to me. Through bad, whatever came, whatever had happened, whatever, that's in the past, that's the future, that's the past. I don't care about the past. Don't care about the past. Care about the future that you have. And the love that God gives you again, and my child is my child. And I forgive her for any little thing. You hear me, huh? You hear? I forgive you for everything, Mija, everything that you've done. I forgive you. You know why? Because you brought me four grandchildren that you bring life to my life. You bring, but God Almighty is the first one. God Almighty, He is the first one. And then you brought me because of you. We have this little precious one right here. And she loves you more than anything in the world. Because that's her grandma. That's her grandma. And this is what I've been trying to tell you since Christmas. How I feel about all of you. There's a lot more. But for now, I think this is what I'm feeling right now.